see no guns, tanks, or soldiers, you are still witnessing a revolution. At present, our country is moving out of the mechanical and into an electronic world, and you are witnessing this electronic revolution. You are rapidly approaching a time of decision. If you have decided to go to college, then go and let nothing stand in the way of your getting a degree. If you haven't, and if you are one who likes to work with his hand as well as his head, you would do well to consider the field of electronics. Why? Electronics is still in its infancy. For example, it was just a few years ago that the Russians put their first Sputnik into space and lit the fuse under us to go into a crash space program which, through electronic guidance systems, etc., will enable us to beat the Soviets in the race to land a man on the moon. Still another example is that American industry didn't know what a computer looked like until 1946 and didn't have one in operation until 1952. These are just a few of the many products and projects which were born out of electronics. But just what is this big and complicated sounding word, electronics? Simply stated, it is nothing more than controlling a large amount of electricity with a smaller amount of electricity. This is accomplished through the use of circuits, amplifiers, tubes, transistors, or integrated circuits. What does this broad field encompass, and what does the electronics technician do? He works in the research, design, production, and maintenance of automation equipment, in television broadcasting and servicing, in radio, radar, and sonar, in computers, in industrial electronics, which includes everything from laser beams to tape recorders. He works in control towers, or aircraft or ships, wherever communications equipment is used. He is an integral part of the space program, and it's only the beginning. This is electronics. Who are the companies in the electronics business? Admiral, American Airlines, AT&T, Bendix Aviation, Boeing Aircraft, Burroughs, Caterpillar, Chrysler, Collins Radio, Corning Glass, Delco, Douglas Aircraft, DuPont, Eastern Airlines, General Electric, General Telephone, Goodyear, Honeywell, IBM, Lockheed Aircraft, McDonald, Magnavox, Monsanto, Motorola, NASA, National Cash Register, Philco, Phillips Petroleum, RCA, Remington Rand, Sylvania, Texas Instruments, the U.S. Atomic Energy Commission, the Naval Air Missile Test Center, Western Electric, Westinghouse, Zenith. It reads like the who's who of the blue-chip industrial world. However, this is only naming a very few of the companies who need and are attempting to hire thousands of trained electronics technicians each year. Attempting to hire? The electronic industry is experiencing critical growing pains. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor, there is a shortage of 300,000 trained electronics technicians in the country today, and it's getting worse. For this deficit is growing at the rate of almost 70,000 per year. The key phrase is trained electronics technicians. Yet, all the electronic technical institutes throughout the United States are only graduating a total of 16,000 trained technicians each year. This is hardly enough to replace the technicians who have retired or died, much less biting into that 300,000-man deficit with its 70,000 per year increase. It's a seller's market, and the trained electronics technician certainly has something to sell. Here are just a few examples of what United Electronics Institute graduates have been paid to start. Olin C. Thompson, working for RCA in Indianapolis, received $139 a week in the beginning and was raised to $156 a week after 3 months. General Dynamics has offered UEI grads a starting wage of $144 a week. And this was topped by J.C. Bernard and Associates with an offer of $160 a week. With overtime, graduate James Durbin earned $269 the very first week he worked for Collins Radio. And Edward Lee Smith beat that with a $314 week at RCA in Cambridge, Ohio. Can the untrained get a job? In this day and age, it is not difficult for an untrained person to get a job making $80 to $100 a week. If you would be happy making this the rest of your life and would have no fear that your job would eventually be abolished, then go to it. However, the odds are stacked against you. The future only belongs to those who prepare for it. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics bears this out in cold, hard cash. According to the Bureau, the average trained technician or college graduate will make $180,000 more in a lifetime than the average high school graduate. You have already invested 12 years of your life in getting a formal education. For an additional 4 years of college or 2 years of technical training, you are adding $180,000 worth of bigger and better houses, cars, boats, etc. to your life's enjoyment. If you decide to pursue a career in electronics, you will find it big and challenging. But there is nothing complicated about it for a person who has been trained in this field. If you are interested in the type of school you would attend and the training you would receive in order to become an electronics technician, listen to the other side of this record.